Joy Behar calls her a 10. I mean, how dare she objectify a woman with a sexist rating system, but it's such a typical thing from a 1.5.
Well said.
The motives stink worse than Joy Behar's jog bra. I mean, assuming she jogs. Oh, wait, there she is. She has a point. Maybe I am obsessed, but some people are obsessed with Bigfoot, and they don't get to see him on TV every afternoon. And if they did, could they tell the two apart? I don't know.
Greg didn't even raise his voice. He arched his brows. He transformed Joy's characteristic smugness into what seemed like a complete identity crisis with a series of snarky outbursts. And then came Tyrus, less casual talk, more comedic execution. He was calm as always, not flinching, just launching vicious one-liners like he was doing target practice with her reputation.
It's not even that. In The View, you don't need to find Trumpers. You need to fire your race baiters.
Yeah.
You need to fire the two races. You've had people. You had a McCain on there. You've had people on there before, and you ran them off. So the racist ones who want to stick to this, Whoopi and Sonny, and the, was it Bette Midler? What's her name? Yeah, broke-ass Bette Midler. Fire them and bring people in. Maybe you could get McCain to come back. She was a Republican, but every show and every break, she was nearly in tears because she was being attacked.
Tyrus didn't have to turn up the volume he was on live television. He simply dropped punchlines that hit like slabs of concrete. Gutfeld's punches were so sharp that they cut without even needing to slice. Joy had been wearing a mask of self-importance for decades, but they cut right through it. Let's be honest, Joy has spent far too much time on the precarious throne of daytime television. In her own tiny echo chamber, she was untouchable. However, no one warned her about this ambush. She was attacked by a duo who delivered humorous ammunition with sniper-like precision without outrage or cancel culture. It was the kind of material that exposes without shouting. The kind that uses surgical sarcasm to cut through fake laughter and flimsy narratives. Gutfeld arrived with timing so precise it could shatter glass, mocking every word Joy said as if he'd practiced it in a comedy dojo. Tyrus, meanwhile, sipped her misery like it was his afternoon cappuccino, watching her unravel. Joy stopped laughing abruptly because that throne starts to shake violently when the jokes turn against you and the audience stops clapping with you. This wasn't just television. This was long overdue, aired uncensored destruction, no major confrontation, no back-and-forth blow-ups, no intense studio meltdown where Joy Behar could shout over her opposition. Not at all. This was murder by silence, not a debate. Joy wasn't even in the room when it happened. That's what made it so powerful.
Joy Behar accused Elon Musk of being pro-apartheid, but then begged him afterwards not to sue. Musk lawyers have yet to comment because they're still checking to see if it's legal to sue a cow.
Shots fired.
Just a legal question. I don't know why it's so upsetting. I don't make the rules in this country.
Greg. Gutfeld didn't even have to say Joy Behar's name. His satire painted the picture clearly. The loud, self-important daytime host preaching from a velvet throne with a wine glass, pretending to connect with regular people despite being out of touch was unmistakably her. Gutfeld delivered sharp, silent blows, never yelling, just layering satire with comedy to make sure the audience felt every hit. Then came Tyrus, cool and calculating, asking the nation with one glance, "You're really still letting this woman talk? No theatrics, just surgical silence." While Joy spun her wheels in front of an applause-trained crowd, they dismantled her persona without ever calling her to the table. This wasn't random, it was a deliberate comedic takedown of a false authority.
The news, the feral monsters of The View say they've never heard of you-know-who. True, the show that makes mornings hell claim that my name doesn't ring a bell. It's time for
Our View on The View. Ugh.
Yeah, the witch's coven finally shows me some lovin'. Yesterday on The View, yours truly was the subject of conversation. Apparently, the broads have no idea who I am, or so they say. Hit it,
Joy's own words cost her credibility. Without being present, she became the punchline roasted by two men who didn't need to raise their voices. Gutfeld raised a brow, not a debate, and dismantled her image. Joy still thinks she's in charge, like a band leader on a sinking ship. But the comedy lies in her denial. Will Gutfeld and Tyrus let the audience judge the wreck?
Gutfeld talks about you all the time.
Who is he? Well, really, who is he?
I don't watch the show.
He has a show.
I don't watch the
never
show.
heard of him.
Yeah.
I guess he's just obsessed with me.
No. Next, Joy's going to say she's never heard of carbs. Seriously, her denial of knowing me is as believable as her red hair. But obsession? I mean, come on, Joy. Where would you even get that idea? Like Joy Behar's face, it's looking worse and worse by the day. More full of crap than Joy Behar after a night of scotch and Taco Bell. Her being named Joy is like me being named ugly. Joy wasn't there on the show. Apparently Mondays are her days off when she feeds in the pasture. It now smells like a humid day inside Joy Behar's.
That wreck is The View Once a panel show, now drama theater. It's not discussion, it's live-action Twitter. Gutfeld stays above it, calmly exposing the absurdity. With quiet precision, he and Tyrus showed Joy's act expired long ago, leaving only tragic comedy behind.
Oh, this is what elitists do who can't, like, if you don't know who someone is, how did you know to automatically hate him? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, that's how fake and full of she is. Gutfeld, never heard of him. Don't like him. Why? Cause why? That's why I just turned to one of my kids. Cause why?
Yeah.
Because I don't know who he is. Never heard of him at all in my entire life. But why? Because I don't know. Because they are the last TV show to talk about high turnover. Mm-hmm. We've been rolling 3 steady for a long time.
Yeah.
We don't take breaks in the commercial to get away from each other. Well, that's what the drinking's for.
Yes.
Megan McCain, how'd that go?
Yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell, or any of these previous fellow employees? Because one of the things they said was that no one walks away from money. Right?
Yeah.
So they got people running away from it.
Joy shouts like a foghorn with the clarity of a broken compass. She poses as a professor but spews civics like someone who failed the class. Her applause isn't earned, it's given out of loyalty. Tyrus and Gutfeld live on a different wavelength where real, unscripted laughter thrives. Joy needs a script and a planted crowd. Gutfeld needs one punchline and a camera. For years, Joy mistook applause for agreement. Greg didn't storm the stage, he just smirked from a distance while she waved from her fantasy balcony, thinking the world still adored her. He didn't have to say a word to bring it all down.
The problem is that you have to go after the racist people. And if be the CEO goes, you know what? I'm not going to allow a woman on my show or man that will go after white America and talk about them like dogs. That doesn't represent our ideals or values for anyone. And get rid of those people. And this will clear up real quick. So do you have to actually look in the mirror and clean up your own backyard and get the racist people out? Because that's who you allowed in. You allowed black racist on TV who could just go all day and say anything about white people. And I guess lo and behold, they forgot that there's a lot of people at home, white people at home during the day that are not watching your show anymore. So just clean it up.
Yeah, you know.
Then Tyrus sealed it. No raised voice, no theatrics, just one look and a quiet. You really believe that? That silence hit harder than any argument. Joy has spent years faking outrage, while Gutfeld sidesteps it with humor and clarity. She could grow, but she won't because being right on TV is addictive. That's what they exposed, not Joy the person, but Joy the act, a media-crafted outrage machine. Gutfeld's monologue wasn't just funny, it was lethal. A hit disguised as humor that shattered the illusion of daytime TV virtue. Everyone knew who it was aimed at. Like pointing to the Emperor's rags without saying a word, everyone laughed because it was true. And Tyrus, with just one look, ended it more effectively than a 10-minute tirade ever could.
It's about The View. It's become like a medical hospital that displays human misfailure. Like it's like here, let's look at this political oddity. It's like it really is like the left-wing equivalent of a carnival sideshow, except instead of bearded ladies and fat clowns and two-headed cows. Well, let me rephrase that. But The View is a victim of the sunk cost fallacy. How can you now speak the truth when for years you've been telling lie after lie after lie? Now you're carrying this big bag of rocks around you because it's too harmful for their ego to admit that we really were dishonest. And they could be honest. All they would have to say is, look, we hate Trump so much. We were willing to lie about Joe Biden because we felt he was preferable. We thought our lying and our cover-up was on your behalf. Just say that. You're still scum, but at least you're honest scum.
And that's what really stung. It wasn't insults, but irony. While Tyrus and Gutfeld used sharp humor, The View offered lectures wrapped in applause. Audiences chose laughter. Joy wasn't even invited. She waited for a showdown that had already ended. No confrontation, just silent dismantling. Gutfeld lit the fuse from afar. Tyrus followed with one deadpan stare and a snort, no words needed.
Sure, all that, and the price of butter. Sonny gets the game ball. If it wasn't for her, asking that question, it might have been a closer election. But when oh no, nothing really comes to mind, I was like, cha-ching. Listen, they're bitter, they're angry, they're entitled. They also should be. This should have been a reset for everyone who pushed lies and misinformation for the last. They call them Hitler, they call these things. America rejected them. And instead of coming back and saying, we lied, they instead are now doubling down. So let her keep doing it, because if she keeps that up, we're going to keep getting the Senate and probably the House and the White House, because people see right through your...
The absurd part, Joy still hasn't noticed the shift. She thinks she's the lead, but she's background noise in a joke she never saw coming. She expected pyrotechnics and a heated TV exchange. What she got was exclusion. Imagine basing your identity on reactions, only to realize no one is reacting anymore. The act is outdated. The audience has moved on. Her brand of outrage no longer holds value. Audiences want sarcasm and subtle digs, not lectures. The midday battlefield of ideas now feels like a dusty museum. Hosts still pretend to be fierce, but they stumble halfway through their lines. It's all performative, and it's lost its bite.
Sure loves running her mouth. She should. But she should. It's the only running she does. Emily! So what did you make of this? VVAC is what she called him. I don't care if you disagree or agree with him. That dude is not dumb.
No, and that is what was so ridiculous. Everything that comes out of her mouth is ridiculous, but for her to make that kind of point about someone that we all know, that regardless how you feel about his politics or him running, that he is undeniably brilliant, is so ridiculous.
It used to feel like live TV. Now it's reheated drama pretending to be relevant. Meanwhile, Gutfeld is real chaos, unfiltered, sharp, and rooted in reality, like a gritty dive bar with punchlines. Younger audiences don't buy what Joy is selling. They're done with millionaire panelists mistaking collabs for truth. The puppet show is exposed. Joy still rants at clouds, unaware her voice no longer controls the sky. Gutfeld and Tyrus aren't offering answers, they're offering smirks that say, none of this is that deep. The storm passed years ago. She just never noticed?
Here's Joy Behar talking about refusing to share a kidney.
I find my friends bizarre. With a Trump supporter. I won't give them a kidney, but I could be friends with them.
Hey, Joy, it's a kidney, not a pizza. Of course, she's kidding at first, but then she goes on to explain the moral foundation for her resentment, and it's the same one that drives all deadly ideologies. Sausage maker Johnsonville is recalling more than 42,000 pounds of pork sausage for possible contamination with plastic fibers. Fortunately, authorities were able to track all 42,000 pounds to a single location in New York City.
While Joy critiques thunder like she's controlling the weather, Gutfeld mocks it like a weatherman who's in on the joke. The world has moved on. Joy, you're backstage now, rehearsing lines for an audience that already left. Just know the takedown already happened. You weren't even needed. Tyrus and Gutfeld didn't need your presence. You're past your show, your persona, your legacy was enough. The satire wrote itself. That's how someone gets taken down without a direct hit. The joke wasn't spoken, it was built into the legacy. And in this case, that legacy became the punchline?